Mason, who's the best guy going back to LSU that we're not talking about right now, but a year from now we'll all be talking about it?
Whit Weeks. A lot of respect for Whit Weeks. His hard work and dedication for the game. Great friend of mine. But I mean, he's a ball player. He's been tremendous for LSU, and this year he's definitely going to step up into that big leadership role, which he was stepping up into last year, and I think he's going to have a huge year for LSU. Just the athletes that are there. I mean, the production down there, and especially at my high school, St. Thomas Aquinas, you got athletes going out every single year, going D1 and into the NFL as well. So it's crazy to see. But the athletes down there in South Florida, I mean, the competition that's down there, that's what I've been raised around, and I love being down there and being playing with those athletes for sure.
How did you benefit from growing up in that?
Yeah, just kind of having that inside scoop that many people aren't fortunate to have. So it was definitely a blessing. But I mean, my only memory when my dad was playing was messing around with my brother and sister in the suite or in the locker room, tackling each other. So I mean, not much memory there, but just having him in my supportive group and my team and my family, of course, being supportive of me throughout the whole way, through ups and downs, has been huge for me.
Does it help you understand what it takes?
Yeah. For sure. I mean, even my dad and my uncle, they both weren't the highest recruited coming out of high school or college. And, you know, it just shows that there's no shortcuts to the game. It's all straight hard work and dedication and seeing their work ethic. And, you know, my dad was a little undersized coming into the NFL, and just how he worked and, you know, separated himself. That's what it takes to be on this next level.
What did your dad tell you about this process, the combine and the trip?
You know, just to enjoy it. It's a long process. You know, it's a long year. Up until 2026, you got the mini camp and you got camp and all that stuff. So I mean, it's a long process, but just being where your feet are and enjoying it. You know, coming out here, meeting new guys, meeting the guys you've been watching on TV every year, competing against, is definitely a big experience. And getting to talk with all these teams, it's definitely been a great experience.
Who's your favorite Dolphins tight end of all time?
Dolphins tight end of all time. I like Gesicki. That was. I mean, when I was younger, he was there a little bit. So I would say Gesicki was a really good one. I met with them a lot at Senior Bowl. So I met with them at the Senior Bowl. I got to meet with every single team, whether that's Senior Bowl or here. So it's definitely been a blessing and definitely been an eye-opening experience. Not since, no, sir.
One of the things that Brian Kelly mentioned about him throughout the year was his ability to do every single thing well that he asked you to tight end. So what did it take to kind of fill out everything, from the blocking, from diverse pre-snap alignment, everything that you're asked to do? And what's your greatest strength?
You know, that's just a tight end's job, is just doing everything, and that's why I love it. Being that complete tight end and being that answer for the run game, the pass game, and the protection game was huge for me. And, you know, LSU gave me the opportunity to be kind of like that dark horse of the offense and kind of doing everything behind the scenes and then also catching the ball as well. So, you know, that's something I enjoy. You know, sometimes you're not going to have games where you're catching 10 balls and, you know, having 100 receiving yards, but being that team player and being in that answer in the run game or help when you need a 7-man protection and push our first round receivers down the field, I mean, it was a great experience at LSU. Yeah, I mean, he's a baller. I mean, he was just playing basketball for LSU. I mean, he's a tremendous athlete, and he's open to learning. I mean, when I was there, I mean, he's really communicative, open to learning, and, you know, he's learned a lot. And he started football at a late age in high school, and he's caught up onto it. So, I mean, he's definitely going to be a player for LSU, and he's stepping into that role.
Speaking of those first-round receivers, can you talk about what it was like playing with Malik Neighbors?
Yeah, I mean, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Kyron Lacey, I mean, all of them. I mean, being around them, my years there is just truly a blessing, and getting to learn from them and see how they run routes and see how they play and practice and work hard. I mean, it's definitely been a great experience for me, and getting to see that and kind of put that into my game, into a 250-pound body is definitely good for me, and definitely having that relationship with me and them is definitely great.
So you talked about, watching, Mike Gesicki. I'm kind of curious, what do you see in his game that he's 6'6", 41-inch vert? What do you see in Mike Gesicki?
Athletic, like you said, and being that complete tight end, doing it all, you know. That's something I pride myself on, kind of doing it all for an offense, and that's what tight ends do, having a lot on their plate and, you know, being an answer for everything offensively. I would like to say, everything, but I would say specifically in the pass game, route running. I think I'm a tremendous route runner. I run smooth, but again, I can separate myself from defenders. It really just depends on like the route tree we had at LSU. Sometimes I'm not running the most, we're kind of running basic routes or something like that. But, I think I have the potential to run any route, I'm asked to do, whether that's out wide at number 1, number 2, or number 3 spot. I feel like I can run any route and be an answer for offenses in the pass game anywhere. Favorite route? I enjoy a corner route. Definitely in the red zone too. Love a corner route, run into that back pylon. But yeah, I think a corner route would be a great route for me. Yeah, I love George Kittle. Like I said, I pride myself in being that complete tight end, and he's that definition of one. So how he has fun in the game too, and he's always goofing around with people and enjoying it, because it is just a football game at the end of the day. And when he takes his job seriously, and he's being that answer in the run game, protection, and in the pass game, and kind of doing it all for an offense. That's something I definitely look up to for sure. I've met with them at the Senior Bowl and stuff like that, but yeah, like I said, I've met with every team so far, whether that's informally or formally.
Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Vrabel at all?
Yeah, I had a formal interview with them here at the Combine, so I got to talk to them about my dad and my uncle and, of course, myself. But yeah, it was definitely a great experience getting to meet him and talk to these teams all throughout the experience. Excuse me? Oh, it'd be awesome. I'm a big learning guy. I love learning from others, whether that's a coach or even a player with experience. So learning from a guy like George Kittle would be, huge for my development. I think the sky's the roof for me, and getting to have open ears and an open heart for stuff like that, and putting everything in my game that I can learn from other people is definitely big for me and my production. I think I'm a great blocker. There's things to clean up, of course, and I think that's part of the game. And I think I'm a great blocker. Being more technical, and it's the little things that I can get better at, being in the footwork and getting my body in the right position to make plays. But yeah, I definitely think I'm a great blocker, and I'm well-rounded as a tight end. Not yet, no sir. No, sir, not yet. I've met it with every team throughout the whole process, but formally and informally. So.
How much did your dad kind of talk about that grind, coming up, not being under going this actor and all of that, and how much did that sort of shape you in the way you kind of want to approach everything, not just football, but beyond?
Yeah, just every opportunity is an open door. So having an opportunity to come out here is a blessing at the Combine. So taking advantage of that and advantage of your opportunities where you have. They're limited in the league now, so taking advantage of every opportunity, every time a team wants to talk to you, it's a blessing. So definitely keying into every opportunity and taking an advantage of every opportunity you get is huge.
When you talk about being a great blocker, how much of that is a mindset?
Oh, it's a big mindset. Some of the guys don't want to do it. But I love doing it. I love being that dark horse for our offense, even if you're not in the spotlight. It's a team sport, and seeing a team thrive at the end of the day and winning games and building that brotherhood is huge, and that's something I enjoy doing. Yeah, shout out to my family. I think it comes pretty naturally, but with hard work and having a jug machine at home throughout high school and getting catches a day on that, and then working hard at practice at LSU. It's really hard work at the end of the day, and you're kind of finding a routine that works for you, and just kind of as a tight end, being able to do everything is really important. So kind of working on having a routine to work on every single thing a tight end does is important for me. And once I have that balance, then I can work on those things. So throughout high school, I borrowed it during the summer from St. Thomas Aquinas. Coach Harry let me and some of the guys bring it home, so we would all go to my house and catch the jugs. But just stuff like that, like hard work like that, and then kind of just being natural at it, and focusing in with your eyes and having good eyes at it, it's coming pretty natural to me. So I mean, I would work out every day. Whenever we plugged it in, I would probably, I mean, for an hour. I don't know how many catches that is, but mess around for an hour with my friends on it for sure.
Obviously, you leave LSU to be on the record books, but what kind of impact do you think you had on the team and the program?
Yeah, I mean, I hope I had a big impact with the players there. Made a lot of great friendships there. I mean, the people in Louisiana, I couldn't ask for a better group of people. Meeting friends there and all that stuff. So being an impact, being that guy that's coming every single day, being consistent, being a hard worker, setting an image for the guys coming in the recruiting classes, and the guys that are on visits there, just doing it the right way was big for me, and setting that example for the younger guys to come and do step in their process.
Is your dad still able to train with you and work out with you at 50 years old? Is he still at it?
Oh no, I don't think he's worked out in months. But he's busy. He's working at the University of Miami, defensive line coach there. So I mean, he's busy, and he puts a lot of work into his players there, and it speaks to the person he is and the dad he is for sure.
Is there anything that excites you about having playing games in
Yeah, I mean, young, old, and in between. I mean, I'm blessed to be in this position, and I'd be blessed to play with any quarterback in the league. They're there for a reason. They have talent, and getting to learn from those guys and guys around the team is definitely something I'm looking forward to. Yeah, so to answer your question about Washington, I've met with every single team informally or formally. So I met with them informally at the Senior Bowl. But Jaden, I mean, he's a hard worker at the end of the day. He works so hard, and seeing him early mornings, late nights in the facility and really put that hard work, I mean, I wasn't surprised the year he had this year. I mean, that's just the type of person he is and the type of athlete he is. So getting to play with him for 2 years was huge for me, and learning from him and the guys like Malik and Brian and all those guys from LSU has definitely been a great experience and something I've added to my toolbox as well. I think I'll do good. Now and back then. So I mean, now I think that's a little unfair for his advantage, but back then I think I'll hold my own pretty well.
Did Zach Thomas ever tackle you?
I'm sure as a kid running over there for Thanksgiving, again, like I'm from a competitive family, so everything we did, I was stiff arming my mom, tackling my sister. And if you had the ball in your hand, you're getting tackled at the end of the day. So I mean, we were a really competitive family, and that's why I am the way I am today.
When you met with the Rams, what stood out to you?
Just again, the experience of it, talking to these coaches and scouts, learning from their experiences, and getting feedback from them has definitely been huge for me in my process. I love learning, and this process has been so awesome. And to get to be able to go to the Senior Bowl and meet with every single team, and then here formally, it's been an amazing process. The Cowboys were informal and Senior Bowl, yes sir.
What do you think about Willie Cooper's offense, and how do you see yourself fitting there as a tight end? Also playing with BTJ.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Thomas is my guy. He's a tremendous athlete. He was a great athlete at LSU, and learning from him, it's been awesome. But the way they use him at Jacksonville, I mean, he's a ball player there, and they're gonna, I saw something the other day. They're gonna run their offense through him, and I mean, it'll be like I said, it's been a great opportunity to play anywhere and be in any offense, no matter the scheme. Just being the best man and best tight end I could be.
Not many people can relate to the situation right now. Something very close to Rob. Like
Yeah, it's awesome. Him and my uncle being here before and doing it all, the biggest thing they tell me is to be where my feet are. It's a long process, but enjoying it, enjoying meeting new people, and enjoying meeting the guys you compete against every single year, and of course meeting these teams and the guys that you might have a future with. I mean, it's been an amazing experience, and being where my feet are and having that support system, like you said, has definitely been a blessing of mine.
how much have you been able to lean on him? College, again, because not many people are dealing with your friends.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so I mean, like having them in my corner in my toolbox is definitely a blessing, and having them in my family. After the season, he's the first person I call to kind of, debrief everything and kind of get my head around to see what's my decision going to be. And we talked to my family and my dad, of course, and thought it was the best decision for me to come out.
Senior Bowl,
To answer your question about the formally, no, I've met with them informally. But at the Senior Bowl, I mean, there's a, I mean, at the where I was on the American team. The American team had a tremendous defense. So you got guys like Samar Stewart, the defensive end for South Carolina. So we had a great defense there, and getting to compete against them every single year, onto like working with them in practice and everything, getting to see familiar faces without a helmet was definitely a great experience, and learning from those guys and getting to meet them in person.
You talked a lot about
Sure. Okay. When you think of the NFL Combine, who's the first player that comes to mind?
The NFL Combine. I'd say Xavier Worthy. I mean, everyone's here for the 40 time, so you're always looking at who's running the fastest. So seeing him do that last year was pretty extraordinary. So I guess that's the first thing that comes to mind for sure.
You mentioned a lot about your dad, how proud you are, and how much you've done, but you also feel, this is my opportunity to make my own, not just be Jason Taylor's son, but be Jason Taylor in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say let him have his shine, like you said, and all that stuff. But I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, he's family at the end of the day. So him being that role model and that leader in my life, of course, me wanting to be like him and set my own way. I mean, that will happen eventually. But again, I'm not frustrated by that. That's my dad at the end of the day, and I love him and my mom and my family, and them being supportive of me. Again, like I said, we have the same last name, but I'm Mason Taylor, so I'm going to carve my own path. But having him do it before me sets a pretty good example for me. Yeah, there's no shortcuts. He harps on that. There's no shortcuts. It's straight hard work, and I've kind of just taken that upon myself, just to work hard no matter what I'm doing in the off season, during the season. There's no shortcuts. They both weren't heavily recruited out of high school or college, so they had to put in that hard work. My dad was pretty light. He was a light defensive end, and he had to find what he was good at to separate himself. So it's all about hard work, and that's something they harp on for sure. Informally, yes, sir. At the Senior Bowl, yes, sir. All good. It's a good question. Being a complete tight end, that's something I harp and pride myself on. So showing them, explaining it to them what I mean for an offense, being that answer for the run game, the pass game, and in pass protection, being that guy that's going to show up on third downs and pressure situations, that's something I harp myself on and pride myself in. So, kind of showcasing my talent as being that complete tight end is something I try to tell teams and try to sell them on for sure. I don't think so. I mean, like I said, it'll be a blessing to go to any team, no matter the scheme or the schematic of the offense. I think it'll be a blessing to go to any team and adjust to anything they run and kind of take it all in and be the best tight end I can be possibly. Definitely meeting these teams, meeting the higher ups, the GMs, the head coaches. I mean, it's been a blessing, and getting to be in this situation in the first place and setting myself up with all the things from LSU and all that stuff. I mean, it's been a great experience, and definitely meeting these coaches and teams in person is definitely a great experience.
There's been such an increase in the usage of tight ends around the NFL over the last few years. Who are some tight ends that you want to name after that?
Yeah, I love watching George Kittle. Like I said, priding myself on being that complete tight end, and him doing everything for an offense, that answer in the run game, pass game, and in protection, and how he has fun with the game, how it's just a football game at the end of the day. He's throwing guys on the floor, catching touchdowns, and enjoying it, and that's something I look up to. And him being that complete tight end, I try to resemble my game after that, for sure. Informally, yes, sir. I've met informally with the Dolphins, meeting Mr. Greer. I played high school ball at St. Thomas with his son, and kind of growing up around the Dolphins. So I was talking to him the other day, walking back to the hotel, and meeting him at such a young age and having a connection with his son from St. Thomas Aquinas has definitely been a blessing. And getting to talk to him about what they got going on and everything has been great.
You mentioned being able to do everything that's required in tight
I mean, this could be any position, but I guess making plays in pressure situations. When the game's on the line or it's a do-or-die situation on fourth down, I love creating open opportunities and getting open, making plays when your team needs it. So at the end of the day, it's a team game, and I love benefiting for our team. That's why I love run blocking or even being in protection, just doing everything tight end does to help benefit the team and help win games. I think that's just how I was raised. I find a routine, I find something I'm comfortable with, and I just stick to it and work hard. At the end of the day, you're not gonna be successful if you don't work hard. I mean, there's so many tremendous and great athletes in the NFL and in college ball as well. So really separating yourself by hard work and it's the little things is definitely important to me. But that just speaks to the way I was raised. I was always raised to be a hardworking guy and be competitive no matter what. So. Yeah, I would say that's definitely the most pressure situation I was in, especially as an 18-year-old. But learning from that experience and being able to get my name called in that situation when the game's on the line was definitely a great experience for me, and it just shows that I'm willing and capable of doing anything. Be yourself. A lot of guys, I mean, it could be nerve-wracking. You're meeting with a lot of teams. You're competing on the field. You're doing things that are kind of not football-like, running 40s and all that stuff. So, I mean, just being yourself. At the end of the day, everything's kind of said and done with film, but being yourself in the meetings, just displaying Mason Taylor is the biggest thing for me, and that's being that hard-working guy, that consistent guy, that great team guy. And I think me displaying that, I mean, everything will take care of itself as long as I display Mason Taylor on a daily basis here. The Eagles, yes, sir. Formerly yesterday, yes, sir. That was great. We talked through film. Got to talk with Coach Sereni and all of them. So, I mean, it was definitely a great experience. And talking to them and learning from them was definitely great, and talking to them, of course.
What else to you about how they won the Super Bowl and took down the Chiefs?
I mean, they harped on it in our meeting about winning championships. I was talking about my time at St. Thomas. He was basically asking about what separates championship teams, and I had to tell him it's the little things, and I saw that at St. Thomas Aquinas. We won 3 state championships there. It really is the little things, and making sure you're not having cancers on the team that are holding the team down and everyone on the same page, committed to the process. That was the biggest thing for me at St. Thomas. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it's a play everyone can run. So, I mean, no one's holding any team back from running it. I mean, they've worked really hard on it, I'm sure. I mean, that takes practice. And, I mean, kudos to them for perfecting it. I mean, any team can go practice it for hours on hours and hours a day. So, I mean, every team has the opportunity of doing it, and I don't think it should be a ban for sure. Hang on, it's a long ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride, too. There's ups and downs no matter what player you are. I mean, if you're first overall or undrafted free agent, I mean, there's bumps throughout the whole entire way. Just being resilient through adversity when times get tough, when plays aren't there to be made. Just being yourself through the whole process and, making plays when your time's called, but at the same time, there is going to be wins and losses, and making sure you're staying even through those is definitely the biggest thing I tell myself.
Is there a favorite story from your dad telling you from his college days, specifically, or anything like that he's told over the years that you're trying to start putting on?
I don't think so. I think just him being hardworking was the biggest thing I took from that. And like I said, him not being recruited heavily in college or high school was big. And I think just being that work ethic guy and being disciplined and competitive on all the stages. And like I said, any opportunities and open doors is something he's told me. And just doing that and having every opportunity and taking advantage of it has been huge. I'll do the field workout, I'll do the position work, and then all my testing will be at LSU's Pro Day. For sure.
Thank you, Mason.
Thank you.